XOXO, Gossip Girl. Pose. Audra at Home is filmed in front of a live Pitbull audience. Good morrow and merry meet. My name is Audra and you are in for a treat. All right, y'all. How fortuitous. How fortuitous is this? I am so excited. This video is not for the views. This video is for my Dexter folks, everybody who loves Dexter. It's for you and me because I wanted to talk about Dexter, and honestly, Bo's tired of it. He's not even here because he's like, are you going to talk about Dexter again? And I'm like, yes, I am, Bo. I'm going to talk about Dexter.
How are you feeling right now?
Well, it's been a whirlwind.
Y'all, how fortuitous that I've been planning this video, and lo and behold,
I've always had my demons.
guess what's coming back?
Hey, Mr. Lindsay.
Yes, it's new Dexter. Ah! Okay, so the original intent, and still intent of this video, is to talk about why, like how awful the original ending of Dexter was, because it ruined the show. Like, if you watch Dexter, I need you to tell me if you were able to go back and rewatch episodes, because honestly, after I saw the series finale, I was undone. I was like, yeah, I can't watch the show, because it undoes everything, right? It undoes everything. It doesn't even make sense. So the first part is like, after everything he goes through, season by season of like trying to keep his true nature under wraps from anyone finding out, after all the work he did, he gets a clear slate with his weird incestuous sister being dead. And why also, I just need an answer, because this keeps happening on white shows and I need to understand why white show creators are obsessed with incest and movies, because it happens way too often. It's really gross. I know that they're stepbrothers and step siblings or whatever, but it's gross. Clueless, Gossip Girl, it never stops. Anyway, the point is, I did not understand why he would get a completely clean slate and then like not do that. Just start over in a new location. Like, here was my preferred ending, and I'm going to tell you this. And this is probably going to be filled with spoilers if you've never seen the show, and agreement or disagreements. We're going to talk in the comments. Please talk in the comments, because I need other people to talk to about Dexter. So here we go. I think the correct ending should have been after that big ass storm, everything's clean, and you're like, and then the screen goes black, and you're thinking, did he die there? Did he die? And then you see a little boy running, and like, I'm ready for school, mommy, and then you see that woman that he was with at the end. I cannot remember her name. Leave me alone. I'll put it in here. Listen, Dexter is the character name I'm going to remember. Thank you. Anyways, and then, she's like waving to the sun, being like, have a good day at school, babes. And then she turns and she's like, honey, have a good day at work. And then, kind of winks a little bit. And then you see Dexter's face and he turns and goes, oh, I will. And then the screen goes, on that smirk that he does. And then that would have been the end. That was a good ending to me, because you see that he has relocated and he's up to his old shit, because it didn't make sense. Because here's some of the things that it unraveled. I need to look at my notes because y'all, I took many. Okay. So I did talk about the incestuous relationship, which I think also ruined everything, because no.
Just no.
Nobody, if you were shipping them, I need to talk to you about why. Y'all, not me coming across in my research a Dexter and Deb ship video. I don't even know what to say. I'm so grossed out. Please help me. Please help me to understand this. I do not get it. They're brother and sister. I know not by blood, but y'all, come on. Do better. Because gross. They grew up from childhood as brother and sister. This is some Pornhub amateur porn shit, and I was not for that. I didn't want it. I didn't need it. And in fact, the multiple times that it kind of seemed like they were too close in this show, I was like, ooh, I was not having it. I was like, please do not let them kiss. Like, I did not want that. I know that they were husband and wife in real life at one point in time until they got divorced after he had cancer. And I do not want it. Like, I don't want it. I don't care. It was gross. I did not need to see that. Another reason why I feel like the entire series finale, failed the entire last season, really, because it ruins the whole thing with Rita, right? Like, for him to have given everything up here at the very, very end, it doesn't make sense that then Rita had to die. Here's why. Had he just stopped before then, right? Or stopped after then? Because, like, Rita gets murdered and his child is sitting in a pool of blood just as he was born. You know, he was born into blood. Now his son's being born into blood. Why wouldn't he stop then? I want to know why he wouldn't stop then, because that doesn't make any sense. So now at the very end of it, like, he's just like, yeah, I'm going to just be a lumberjack in the fucking woods and stop killing people, even though I wouldn't do it after my literal wife was murdered and my child was in blood. What? That doesn't make sense. So it like makes Rita's death look like nothing. It makes her look like nothing, and she was a huge part of his life. And that really bothered me. Like, how in the hell are you going to like turn one of the biggest parts of the show, in his most, I wouldn't say engaging relationship, but enduring. She helped him to find some slivers of humanity in himself. And for you to end the show, for the writers to end it the way that they did, it makes Rita's sacrifice look like hot garbage. Not her actual sacrifice. She didn't sacrifice herself. I mean, John Lithgow sacrificed her, but that was rough. But it makes the whole thing seem like worthless. Like, why, if he continued after that and then, so it's like Rita didn't even matter. That really bothers me. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, it's like Rita didn't even matter. And that makes me mad. Because sometimes she was kind of annoying, but also, like, I liked Rita. She was okay. She was an okay chick. You know what I mean? Then the other thing that it ruins is Doakes. Because then Doakes died for no reason.
Surprise, motherfucker.
There was a part of you, like, we all kind of hated Doakes because Doakes was kind of a dick, but we also kind of, like, liked Doakes. It was a love-hate relationship, you know what I mean? Like, I liked him because, like, he knew Dexter was fucked up like black people do. He had black people intuition, was like, I don't like this motherfucker. And we were like, I agree.
This fucking guy doesn't belong. Fucking weirdo.
Fucking psycho.
I agree, Doakes. He is a little odd, right? But the whole thing of Dexter kidnapping him, pinning everything on him, and doing all of that doesn't even make sense now. It doesn't make sense. After you see the series finale, it doesn't even make sense that he did all of that work because it's just undone. Like, why even bother? Not to mention, it doesn't even make sense why Dexter even did one of the most iconic scenes in the show, hands down, where Doakes confronts Dexter in Dexter's office, and once Dexter realizes that Doakes does not have a wire on, proceeds to tell Doakes that he owns him. He's like, I own you. And then headbutts the fuck out of Doakes and then walks out calmly. And then Doakes acts wild. What? Like, why even bother pinning it on him? You could have just made him like feel like he just disappeared or some bullshit. But instead you pinned it on Doakes. Like, if you didn't want to murder, like, then why did you do that? If you didn't want to murder, you could have just let Doakes take you away and put you in prison. Dexter, that's what you could have done. See, this is writers. This is why I get so mad when writers do this, because they literally sit there and then they just forget like everything that came before. And so like the whole Doakes thing no longer makes sense. If you go watch it now, if you've seen the whole thing, it doesn't make sense that he even bothered with this. If he really wanted to be like, okay, well, I'm done. I've gone too far and people know that I've done this shit and I can't, like, I know that they were trying to be like he's gained humanity or whatever because his stupid incestuous sister died. I'm sorry, I have like this thing against Deb. I just never really liked Deb. I'm gonna be honest about that. I never really liked Deb. She kind of got on my nerves like a lot. Like a lot. She was hot, but she got on my nerves. But it just doesn't make sense. Like, they're trying to sit there and be like, well, no, he gained some humanity. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that through all, I believe, what, 8 seasons, he has been like not gaining humanity, and he finally gets it here? Like, after everything he went through, this was his tipping point? Like, this? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, explain it to me. Make it make sense that this is the tipping point, not his actual wife being murdered in their house. That didn't do anything. He was just like, oh, too bad. The mother of my child was murdered by a guy I was trying to murder. Oh, well, hoop. Keep murdering. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. He's supposed to be a sociopath. And as we all know, even though he's like gaining slivers of pretend humanity, not real humanity, he's just learning how to like exude personhood to other people. It didn't, like, the whole, like, and I hated that because I liked the Doakes storyline. So after I see the series finale, I'm like, well, that doesn't even make sense now. Now it doesn't matter. Speaking of that, Lila doesn't make sense now. And Lila was one of those characters where for like a brief period of time, you're like, they should be a couple. You know, she even came in between him and Rita. And you kind of thought they should be a couple because she understood him. She knew, you know, his dark passenger. Oh, I love that. My dark passenger. Ugh. Anyway, she knew who he was for reals, and still accepted him. And that sent all of us in a tizzy, and we're like, yes, get with her, screw Rita. I think that's when we kind of, like, at one point we're like, Rita gets on our nerves. If you were watching it like I was watching it, and you're like, yeah, fuck Rita. Rita's always trying to bother you. Lila understands you. She gets that you're like a sociopath, and she encourages your wild ass behavior, right? But then we find out that she's actually psychotic. So you can't have a sociopath with a psychotic person. It doesn't. The two cannot meet. Literally, house on fire, and for what? But that whole storyline no longer makes sense because if he ends up giving everything up because he feels like he's a danger to everybody, then he should have just gave it up then, and Rita would still be alive. Not to mention, she was a psychotic firebug. All right. She set everything on fire. She set her old life on fire. She set her new life on fire. She tried to set Dexter on fire. And did I mention she fucking killed Doakes? She killed Doakes. Sorry, I got so excited to be able to talk about Dexter that even though I had my notes, I just wasn't looking at them as hard as I could because I was too excited. Anyway, she killed Doakes. He should have just gave it up then, got with psychotic Lila, and just continued, like, done his killing spree either then and said, like, yes, I'm going to get with Lila and do that. Or he would have been like, yeah, she's threatened my entire family and my life, and this was, like, ridiculous, and I shouldn't have done that, so I need to quit killing folk. Do you see what I mean? Like, it doesn't, am I making sense? I'm so excited that I'm talking really, really fast because I fucking love Dexter. And again, this is not going to be one of those videos for views because I'm just going to sit here and be a nerd about Dexter for a little bit. I just didn't get that. Like, when you watch the series finale, it's like, what happened? Like, all these other character arcs stop making sense. Not to mention the fact that Lila is the first person that he has to, like, bittersweet kill. Like, she knew his secrets, she knew everything about him, and he had had enough, and he couldn't just leave her out there in the wind, especially not after what she'd done. So it was like, bye, Lila. It's a whole thing. His brother, the ice truck killer, his literal brother is also a serial killer, but like the bad kind. Because, you know, Dexter's everybody's lovable serial killer. It is what it is. Listen, I know, fiction is weird. Anyway, his literal brother is a serial killer, tries to kill his sister. That seems like a good point to stop then. If you're gonna stop Dexter, that seems like a good place. Kill your brother and then be done. Because once again, everything was threatened. That's why I look like this, by the way. I hope you like my Dexter look. Oh, Dexter. Do. Okay, sorry. But like, if you think that through that storyline and everything that his brother was willing to put him through, and that he had to kill his actual brother, who is the only person who could truly, aside from Lila, who could truly understand, aside from the lady at the end, who could truly understand his dark passenger and his dark nature, you know? And he killed him. And so that to me would say that that would be the growing point, right? If that was where he was going to be like, I'm going to stop doing this now, that would have been the penultimate point, because like everything he knew was threatened. Deb was threatened. His family was threatened, like everything. And he didn't stop then.
You are one creep, motherfucker.
So like the logic behind every time that you would think, okay, well then that would have made more sense if you to end the show there and have him stop there. No, we have to have like the perfect storm moment. What? One thing I will never talk about is Deborah with that old man. It grossed me out to see every time I had to see it. I am aware that they had a relationship. I pretend it didn't happen. I hope you will too. Thank you. Good day. Riding off on a ship into the sea? No, sir. No, ma'am. No, no way. I will not have it. And so I could never rewatch it. And now, y'all.
Oh, easy there. What is the problem? Yeah, I kind of have a thing about blood.
It's coming back. 10 episodes. Showtime. I am beyond excited because I am really hoping that they rectify this situation. Even if it's only 2 or 3 seasons, I would be fine with that, because honestly, I have a deep belief that American television takes their series way too, like they let them go on too long, which is why it's so impossible to wrap up the entire show. Like I figure if you want to keep it going, make chapters of the show. You know what I mean? Like telenovelas do that all the time. They'll like have a whole show and like that particular that ends, all of that is over, you know, and then they'll start over and it's like it's the same show and it's like the same characters and all of this stuff, but it's like elevated into another part so it can just like keep going. It's a new storylines for everybody, and you move forward. All right, so new Dexter is going to be set 10 years into the future. For those of you who don't remember, it ended in 2013, and so that's been 8 years. I did math. You see how fast I did that? Give me my congratulations. No sir, you got 10 minutes before it's time to eat. Come sit and then we'll go. No, don't bring your big ass head over here now. We're talking about Dexter. Sit your ass down. See, I told you he's going to come around because he likes Dexter really deep down in his soul. He's never been able to see an episode, and now he's going to get to. So it's going to be set 10 years in the future, which I've said multiple times. And what I am hoping happens is like his son was 5, so he would be 15 now. I wonder if we're going to see his son attempt to find him. What do y'all think? An old girl from the first one. I could not remember her name. Let me look it up so I'll stop being foolish. Be like, old girl. Calling her old girl every time. Old girl who left with his son. Hannah was her name. And the only reason I can't remember her name is because I remember her from being on Chuck, and I still don't know her name. I always think of her as Yvonne because I can't say her last name. But anyways, so Hannah. So I'm hoping, it doesn't look like it looking at the cast that Hannah's going to come back. So I don't know if they're going to even bring up his son or anything. I don't know if they're going to have him try to find him. It's like 50-50 on whether or not I want that to be a thing. Like part of me does want his son to make an appearance at some point, but part of me doesn't, wants his son to just be like normal. Yeah, I'm thinking that because I just feel like, I don't know, the way that the other one ended, where he could have just been like having a happy life with Hannah and his son and still be like murdering those who get away with murder. It makes sense. But yeah, I think that that's going to happen. I wonder what's going to happen when his dark passenger comes back. Like, who is going to incite it? Because remember, he's in some random logging town that we don't know about. And I am really looking forward to seeing how they fix this. This is one of the few times that I am excited about a reboot. One, because they brought back the original. You know what I mean? They brought back Michael C. Hall, who has had a history of playing kind of creepy, broody people. Do people think he's hot? Do people think Michael C. Hall is hot? Because I do not. And I'm just wondering, Like, is he hot as Dexter? Because like that's also a no. I don't think he's hot as Dexter. Who thinks he's hot? Let me know in the if you think Michael C. Hall is hot, drop a devil emoji. Like, if you think he's hot, I need to see the little devil smiley emojis in the comments. So then that way I know it's not me. But it's not like, because I don't think he's hot. Like, I think he's interesting looking. We'll go with interesting looking. I didn't even go in depth with everything, but I'm really excited about this new one. I just made this like really short, ridiculous video because also I am on a bit of a time crunch, and I did also want to play on Twitch today for a little bit, and I have things to do. I have to buy shoes for work tomorrow. This is Sunday when I'm filming this. I just wanted to hop on here right quick and talk about it, but I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be good because I am now going to go and rewatch, right? I am now going to get, Showtime again and subscribe to that because I could not bring myself to watch the show. My final thing on this is that it completely, the old series finale completely eradicated everything that his father did. Do you know what I mean? It like ruins the memory of his father because all of a sudden, all of the things that his father taught him on how to like handle this and how to stay hidden and how to behave like a human being, like all of that is thrown out the window when he elects to just be a normal person. Like you would have thought as a kid, he would have realized that this was like gross or whatever. It wasn't good behavior. And his father was really doing him a solid. And then once his father died and like, he realized that his father was kind of like, when he saw him do his deeds, I would have felt like that would have been an ideal time to stop. It's just the way that they ended it with like, it looks like he just stops being a serial killer and stops being a sociopath didn't make sense. It ruins every plot. And Rita is literally like so many of the reasons that I get mad at it. Like every time I think about it, I'm just like, Rita. She died. And like, it was awful. Like, it just makes me sad. Like I honestly was like sad when she passed like that. Cause I was like, oh no, not like that. I'm trying not to say like the M word because I don't want to get in trouble. So anyways, that's it. That's the video. I want to know your favorite Dexter moments. I want to know how you feel about them rebooting it. Are you excited? Because I feel like this is going to be good. I feel like they have figured out how to do this properly. I don't know how I feel about the Sopranos movie coming out. I also didn't really watch the Sopranos, so please don't expect anything on the Sopranos. I do have something coming up on Charmed. I am having so much difficulty trying to do this. I feel like I'm going to have to kind of break this down season by season, almost episode by episode. And I feel like that's going to be a huge undertaking for me. We will see if I can do that. All right. That's really it. I got to go. I have a migraine. I want to take some Tylenol. I probably haven't eaten today. I haven't, and it's 2:00. All right. If you would, please do me a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. So then that way the algorithm goddess can keep doing what she does best, which is push me further down into the algorithm so that I can keep doing whatever the fuck I want to. And as usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much for your support, without which I would not continue or get to continue to do what I want and enjoy making the content that I want to make. You do help to keep the bats in the belfry and the spiders firmly ensconced in their webs. And for all of you who like, share, and subscribe and watch the videos, appreciate you as well. All right, until next time, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of your soul, apparently Dexter Morgan's coming for yours. XOXO. Got the girl. Excuse me. To argue about it. Boop-a-doo, boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. I have a headache. On to the whole thing. Oh my God, she's making frog. Moving on. Oh my God, that's helping my headache so much. Oh gosh. Yeah. Must have been that Prosecco I had last night from movie night. There's something on my TV, and we're not going to talk about it. Almost, big guy. Oh my God, your sweet face. You destroy me every day. Why am I like